The world is full of chaos that we can either embrace, ignore, tolerate, or get used to live with. But how about the invisible chaos inside each one of us? How can we go about our lives with grenades that may explode anytime? Hey YouTube, it's Layla and you're listening to the Experience podcast. Number 1, where there is anger, there is always pain underneath. Number 2, anger is nothing more than an outward expression of hurt, fear, and frustration. These two, ladies and gents, are quotes that support the fact that anger is far from being superficial. It's deep. It reflects the invisible chaos inside each one of us, and it reveals the buttons people can push to hurt us. And it goes without saying that anger is one of the most frustrating feelings one can ever experience. It often puts us into a dark state of ultimate insanity, and for a minute, we feel that things are completely out of control. Anger is nothing but an invisible chaos we carry for too long. See, the problem with anger is that it's totally silent until something happens and we react in such an aggressive way that we begin asking ourselves, wow, where is this coming from? This is what we call soul searching, when we begin looking beyond that moment of anger itself and start searching deep inside ourselves for reasons and answers. Why am I acting this way? What is really making me angry? And other similar questions. That's when you start facing your invisible chaos. And that's the first step in the right way. Once you become aware enough and you find the courage to ask, you'll certainly find the answer. And once you find the answer, you can control your anger, redirect it, and you'll eventually learn to turn this negative feeling into a positive one. Let me illustrate with an example. Let's say you are angry about your current job. You hate it so much that you can't get out of bed in the morning once your alarm rings, and you remember that you have to go to a place that you completely hate to do work that won't serve you in any way possible, and to deal with an arrogant boss and a bunch of rude employees. It's just an example. So in this case, how can you manage your anger before you throw a stapler at someone's head? I know it's aggressive, but that's anger. It is aggressive. So the answer to my question is, let your anger motivate you to make a change in your life. Turn the hate and anger to a plan to leave your job and to find an alternative, for example. Having an alternative will provide you with a temporary patience to deal with your current situation. And the same applies to people who constantly try to make you angry. They know what makes you angry. So fix that thing about yourself. Change the narrative. See, the exciting truth about anger is that nobody will push your buttons if you don't have any. So before you overreact and get angry, and before you deal with any situation or anybody, remember this. People can invite us to anger parties all the time, but it's up to us to accept or deny their invitations. It's all about us, not about other people, not about the world. Anger is a sign that something needs to change. So find that one thing and change it. Period. Manage your anger before it destroys you. Thanks for listening. Stay safe and see you in another episode of the Experience podcast.